Alright, so I'm going to start with the great things that I like, and then I'll also share just a few improvements that I would make to your website. So starting with the great things that I love is that you have a consistent color scheme. Your colors are clearly shown throughout your website. I see this pink, salmon color. I also see marble and pops of green. So I do love that you are very consistent with your color scheme. The next thing that I really like about your website is that your Facebook and Instagram links are shown on your website as soon as customers visit. And these links are also functional, so they will take you to the correct page. So if I click it, I am taken to your Instagram page, which is amazing. And again, your Instagram is also very consistent, and you are gorgeous, by the way. But let's go back to your website. Same with Facebook, it all works. Another thing that I love is that you have photos of your brand that include pictures of models and your actual store with merchandise. I think that is the coolest thing. I love, love, love this piece to your website, the fact that you are sharing bits of your actual store on your website. That is amazing. I also love the fact that you have local delivery available on your website, so people do know that you offer that, which is an advantage. I do appreciate the fact that you have included that somewhere on your site. I also really liked the fact that you thank your customers for shopping with you, as we see here. And when it comes to your product pages, they all have a description for each of your products. So as far as some areas of improvement, I would definitely include a tab or a page for returns, exchanges, and shipping policies. Although from what I can tell on your website, your main goal is to get people to book with you so that you can provide the services that you offer. But I would still make a point to have an exchange and shipping policy for the actual physical products that you will ship out. This doesn't really make a big difference for customers who are coming to your shop to get their hair done, but for the customers that are purchasing online from you, it would be important to add that information there. The next thing that I would look at is these 3 vertical images that you have. I would actually create a slideshow instead to display each of these pictures. So having one slide for this picture, one slide for picture 2, one slide for picture 3. To take this a little bit further, this first slide could display your shop and maybe even get a picture of yourself outside your shop or something inside your shop to encourage people to stop by. Because like I said before, I think this feature is really, really cool. And I would definitely make a point to show this. And with this first slide, I would also link it to your book tab, because this is what you want people to do. If they see your shop, they'll know you do hair. You could just have like a button to encourage them to book with you that will just link to this page. Your second slide, this beautiful picture here, you could still include a picture of yourself. I still think that's really important, but I would highlight the fact that you're wearing maybe one of your products. So if this is, let's look through your shop categories. If this is your straight bundles, I would link, or I would have a button here on this slide and say maybe shop straight bundles or whatever the name of your product is. I would also include it here with a button that'll take them to the direct page of your straight hair. Another option that I would possibly do, as I was looking through your Instagram that you've included on your website, this image here tells me that you have custom wigs available. I would take it a step further, and for this second slide, or this second image that we would create as a slideshow, I would highlight the fact that you now have custom wigs for sale. So that would be a great idea to put for this second slide if you did not want to link a product from your shop categories. Lastly, for slide number 3, I would still use this, still say the same, come get the royal experience, but just make it on a slide. I would also say you could even connect some of your Instagram pictures on this slide. It would still look good if you had a statement like you do here. This local delivery available, I would actually make that into an announcement bar. So an announcement bar goes at the top of your website. It'll highlight some important bit of information. I think that is very important. So I would actually put that as an announcement bar so people see that as soon as they visit your site. I would remove the larger image that you have of the model behind the images. So this area here, because this image goes all the way down here. It makes it harder to read the follow us on Instagram text here. So I would just get rid of that image altogether. If we are looking at your shop categories where you have your shop bundles, I love the consistency with the shop categories. The only thing that I noticed is your curly bundle and your kinky curly bundles, they're the same pictures. So I would look to find a different picture, even if it's like a slight difference to the photos. That might be something to look at. And as I was scrolling down to the rest of your shop categories, I would even switch out the shop category that you have for custom wigs here, because that looks like a kinky texture. I would switch that image out and just put it in this kinky curly area here. Maybe you could still switch this image out for your wigs. So where you have this marble background and then the image, I would have a marble background and then just move the image of the model wearing your merchandise. I'd move that to the left, just like you have these shop categories above. That would just make it a little bit more consistent. Also, use slide 3. Like if you didn't want it to just say get the royal experience, you could also include a button or a link to your merchandise. You could even add a slide, maybe have 4 slides all together. Going down to your website where it says why choose us. I love this. I love this. I love this. I think it's a great touch to your website. If we're just looking at the images itself, the white text is a little bit hard to read. So I suggest making it into a darker font so that it's not so much a strain to the eye as we're trying to read the text against the background that you have. If you don't know anything about me, I'm always going to plug in the fact that let's try to use an about page when we can. There are people who feel more connected to your brand when they feel like they know something about you. The fact that you are located in a specific area, looks like St. Louis, and that you have local delivery available is already amazing enough. But I do think having an about page would be a great touch to where you could include your story about how you got started with your shop. It doesn't have to be super personal, but again, it could share more of a personal touch about your brand, even if it's just a picture of you as you are working with different clients. But the point of me mentioning that about page is I would also include these two, not necessarily the images. I think the images are great, but I would include this into your about page. Not only is it about page a way for people to learn more about you, the person behind the brand and the business, but I think an about page could be a great place for you to include your brand values. So, we can clearly see that these two things are very important to your company. But again, you don't have to do an about page. This is just something that I feel like I'm always going to say because I think it's just such a nice touch and it does help. The last thing that I wouldn't say is a suggestion of improvement. I would definitely have to talk to you and figure out if you really wanted your Instagram to be in this location on your website. Typically it's towards the bottom, but I kind of understand what you're trying to do here by displaying some of your Instagram posts closer to the top, which I think is great. And that could definitely work if we took this image out. But let me just say, I absolutely love your website. So with some of your images, I would actually use this third image like so. I would definitely edit it so it's a lot bigger so it actually fits the same size. And an easy way to make it all consistent is just to upload images that are the exact same size, so it looks a little bit more consistent. But I would definitely start off by using this picture because it actually shows your product with your branding, so that would be like a great first picture for people to see. If I go back to shop bundles, it takes me back to the home page. Like I would make this home because this is technically your home page, and then I would make another page that's your shop page. And on your shop page, you don't have to do anything extra. All you would need to do is just re-upload these images so that they're on their own page as well. That way, if people do scroll down and are like, hey, I want to see your closures. Okay, that looks nice. Let me also see, your bundles. Well, they're taken back to your home page and they have to scroll all the way back down to get to, your bundles that would match the closures that I just clicked on. That is about it as far as my suggestions for your website. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. And like I always say, I'm wishing you nothing but the best in your business. Bye.